You're not alone. If you need someone to talk to today, please contact Crisis Services Canada by either calling them at 1-833-456-4566 all hours of the day, or you can text them at 45645 at 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember, you're not alone, and Crisis Services Canada is here to help. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Prospect Show here on ASTV Productions. I'm your host, Graham Forsyth. This edition of the show is brought to you by Pilot Mountain Hockey Academy, Toby Hockey, and Case Financial Group. We got a great show coming up for you guys tonight here on the Prospect Show. Joining me first off is going to be our segment, MCN Sports Advising. Every week we talk to a player or either one of their advisors with MCN Sports Advising. And joining me today is a player that's come on the show before. He came on last year in February, I believe. It's Xander Schulte. He's now playing with the St. Albert Raiders U18 AAA team in the Alberta Elite Hockey League. We're going to dive into his experience with them so far this season, as well as talking about the 2 games he playing in the Alberta Junior Hockey League for the Whitecourt Wolverines, as well as talking about his time attending the Calgary Hitmen camp, and then diving into his time, how it's been with him being represented by MCN Sports Advising. So sit back, relax, enjoy tonight's edition of the Prospect Show with this first guest, Xander Schulte, here on the Prospect Show on ASTV Productions. Wow! And there he is, Xander Schulte, joining this edition of the Prospect Show. Xander, it's been a while since we've talked, not since last year, or I guess earlier this year in February. How have you been since then, man? How have you been doing?
I've been doing pretty good. Having a lot of fun playing hockey, being back on the ice like we used to be before COVID.
Yeah, for sure. That must be one of the most exciting parts for you this season. Just getting back into a normal routine of playing more games than last season, for sure. Playing 12 so far this year compared to last year, where you only got 3 in with the Leduc Wheatkings.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of fun.
Talking about that, you played with Leduc last year for 3 games. You're on the St. Albert Nectar Raiders U18 team this season. Talk about how that came to be, how you made that switch over from Leduc to St. Albert this season.
Well, last year I was last cut for the Leduc major team, same league I'm in now, but I moved for hockey just with my dad here in St. Albert. Just better school and a better organization, I felt, for me. And I like the coach, for sure. He's very on me about the little things, for sure.
That's great to hear. How, big do you find this, having a coach like that that's on you, telling you that you got to do, the things right up there?
He's definitely a great aspect of my hockey right now. And he pushes me every day to be better, not only on ice, but off ice, for sure.
Talk about, what your experience has been so far with this St. Albert Raiders team. You've played 12 games so far. Just talk about what your experience has been with the team so far.
Oh, it's a great atmosphere. We spend a lot of time together, almost 6 to 5 times a week. So we really get to know each other. We play a lot of ping pong in the room, and we act like family. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's great to hear, Xander. Let us in on who's been the best at ping pong this year. Have you been at near the top of one of those top ping pong players on the team?
I'd like to say I'm the best, but Liam Fitzgerald and Ben Costantino definitely hold the throne pretty well.
Great to hear. Of course, you want to be considered the best, but great to have those guys to hold that bar as you got to get to that level, right? In ping pong,
Yeah.
talk more about the culture in this dressing room, how it's been for you, just making that switch over from Leduc last year to playing with St. Albert this year. Just dive more into the culture of this year's Raiders squad.
Well, I think we've come a long way for sure from the start to now. We there's not really individual groups anymore as it was at the start. We've all kind of come together as one. There's no outcasts, I guess, which is really nice, especially I have on a team that is together all week.
Yeah,
Yeah, we like to keep it together on the bench too, which is helps our gameplay, helps us commit
yeah.
to each other.
Yeah, for sure. That's great to hear, and definitely, it looks like things for sure in that department are going well because to be a good hockey team, you got to have a good dressing room. You got to bond with the boys, right? And so far this season, so good. You guys are 10-4-1. That one being a tie, second place in the North Division. 49 goals for this season as a team, fourth in the North Division in that category, and second in the North Division in terms of second least goals against with 38 against. Just talk about how you found this team has been able to have so much success so far on the ice this year in terms of you guys having so much success this early on in the year.
I think it's our team, our mentality for sure helps us be different ahead of everybody else. Where no matter what, it's a 10-second evolution, no matter good or bad. We every 10 seconds, it's a new mindset, and you're looking to the next shift and ready to put in even more effort than the last.
You're. I got in contact with your mom again to set this up, and she said that you were supposed to have a game tonight, but you're currently suspended. I think the last time that we talked, Xander, you were also suspended. Then, talk about what happened this time around for you to get suspended this season.
This time was a little encounter with a goalie. Pushed on my hips and ran him over pretty well. But yeah, having a 3-game suspension right now. Last game is served on Saturday, and I'm back at it on Sunday in Calgary.
Right. And, just the heat of the moment, you got a bit frustrated and gave the goaltender a shot back. Unfortunate how it ended up for you, getting suspended, but nice to know that you'll be back with the team shortly. Talk about, the situations this coaching staff has put you in so far this season for you to get as much opportunity as possible to develop this early on in the season so far with the Raiders.
Yeah, we have about 3 practices every week, and 15 minutes of our second practice of the week, we work on our individual skills on our own time. So whatever we put in, we get out of it, which definitely helps everyone on the team because everybody puts in a little bit to help each other. And it helps us strive on our weaknesses, making them stronger and better.
Talk about what you felt have been the biggest improvements in your game so far this season with this team, getting more adjusted to the U18 AAA style of play. You got 7 points in 12 games so far this year, 2 goals, 5 assists, 21 penalty minutes as well. But dive into, what you felt has been your biggest improvements for you to be able to put up the stats you have been so far in this.
I think my biggest asset right now is that I'm staying consistent in my gameplay and working as hard as I possibly can every shift. And been trying to use my teammates a lot more lately. So I'm not the only one getting the credit, but even the little things like blocking shots just to help the team out any way I can.
Talk about what you feel still has a lot of room to improve in your game. I know, last time that we talked, just looking at the game footage out there, you were a bit lazy out times out there. Is that still the things that you're looking to work on the most is just getting more engaged in the players? It's something else this year that you feel needs more improvement in your game.
This year, I really cut out the laziness, I think, personally, and what I've been told. But right now it's my quick feet, my quick starts, my first 3 steps, getting up to speed for sure is a new one.
Right. Well, you're definitely doing something right because you had a chance to play some junior hockey league hockey in the Alberta Junior Hockey League. You played 2 games with the Whitecourt Wolverines in that league. Talk about your experience in those 2 games. How it came to be for you to get called up to play for that team in those 2 games.
Yeah, it all came down to me putting in the extra work on the ice during the summer, and my chance came on a Saturday, and I drove all the way down to Okotoks and then met the team there. And after the game, we drove back to Calgary, and I had to play another game in Canmore the next day. But it was a grind for sure. Wasn't used to the speed and the time and space, not as much, obviously, being that high in levels, but it was a lot of fun for sure.
What were the biggest things you took away from that experience in those 2 games of just getting to play in a league, of course, higher up than where you're playing right now, but also playing against men as well?
I learned that the time and space definitely is not there like it is in the league I'm playing in right now. But having that chance really helped me put it into my league I'm playing in right now and help me strive to get more points and to help my teammates out, even to push them in practice so that they know what's coming up at the next level.
Well, Xander, we're going to take our first commercial break here in the show, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about your time at the Calgary Hitmen training camp earlier on this year, as well as talking about your time being represented by MCN Sports Advisor. And I've been joined by Xander Schulte, a forward in the Alberta Elite Hockey League, playing for the St. Albert Raiders this season. Stay with me and Xander after this break for more on the Prospect Show. Welcome back to the Prospect Show on ASTV Productions. Joining me now is Xander Schulte, a player that plays in the Alberta Elite Hockey League for the St. Albert Nectar Raiders. Currently, that team's in second place in the North Division this season. Had a chance to talk to Xander about that in the first part of this episode, as well as talking about his time getting called up to play in the Alberta Junior Hockey League with the Whitecourt Wolverines for 2 games at some point this season. But Xander, we'll now dive into your time, your experience at the Calgary Hitmen camp. A cool experience for you. You didn't get to attend camp last season, but getting to attend it this year, how special was that for you?
Oh, it's great going into the Saddle Dome. First time ever actually being there. But being underground by the Calgary dressing room was pretty cool too. But the atmosphere there was pretty lively being in that big rink.
Yeah, so you'd say that just that experience of playing in a bigger rink, getting to see the dressing rooms going underground were some of the coolest experiences you took away from that, outside of playing against the competition you had a chance to play against in camp?
Oh, for sure. The competition definitely was up to speed. I really brought into the aspect of what I was getting into this year with the major midget level and even the junior A level that I ended up affiliating for. But the speed and the competition was pretty crazy.
Talk about, what happened during camp, the things that they put you guys through in that whole experience of you attending Calgary Hitman camp.
Yeah, they put you through kind of like a tournament, I guess is how I would put it, a 3-team tournament or 14, 1 and 2. But it was a week full of fun and commitment towards the game and being somewhere where you've never been before, even with new teammates that you've never played with. Not only can go to your head, but can question how much you actually can bend and adapt to the atmosphere.
Talk about just that experience for you, competing against players that could be your teammates down the line. How cool that was to get to know some of these players that you could make some connections with down the line.
Yeah, I for sure found some connections, made some new friends with Zimmerman there. He's still there, playing there, been there for a while, but it was pretty cool to see where I need to be for next year even to play if I want to.
Talking about it, you've talked about, the speed of the game, the level of competition, just what you took out of that experience of competing in, the games that you played and just the things that you did in camp.
It really helped me figure out what I need for the next level in all aspects of the game with my shooting, my choice making on and off ice. I really bring the big picture of what's to come.
Yeah, for sure. And, just talking about it, what the coaches' messages were, or the message from the coaches were to you after you were done there at the Calgary Hitman camp. Just, what they told you on things to work on, things to improve on for you to potentially, make the team down the line in the near future.
They thought I was pretty good, ready for, but my getting up to speed, my quick feet needed a bit more work, and my decision making, because the time and space once again isn't there like it used to be.
Right, for sure. And that's going to be such a huge thing, right? You got that skill set, you got all the tools to, be a player at that next level, but it's just those little things that separate those WHL players from the other players, right? And that's just something you're going to continue to work on, and something that I know that you will continue to work on. I just want to take you through this one, Xander. I'm sure that you can see the screen, everything that's happening here, but you posted this on your Instagram story, or not on your Instagram story, on your Instagram page. This goal that you scored at camp, just looking at it, you ended up taking this puck at one point in this play and, walking around the whole team and putting it in. I'm sure you remember this one since you posted it. Just take me through how cool this experience was to score a goal like this at the Calgary Hitmen training camp.
This was at the it was actually my first game back at St. Albert for tryouts.
Oh,
But
okay, I see.
I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
another one on there though. I have another one that's from Calgary that's on
Right.
there, but that one was pretty cool to see the speed difference in what I came back to was quite significant.
Yeah, no doubt about it. My apologies on that, folks. Thought it was from the Calgary Hitman camp, but nice to see, you're making that improvement in just your speed and your ability to, walk around players when you impose your will, like you've been able to before in your career, just getting better and better at stuff like that, right? Let's dive into your time with MCN now, Xander. MCN Sports Advising. You've had a chance to work with Matt Gorman, and I'm assuming many of the advisors there. Talk about what your experience has been like with MCN Sports Advising at this point.
Yeah, they really put in the work for you too, not only on ice but off ice with school. They really enforce the school aspect of being a student athlete. They really put a lot of work in the summer too with you, and help you get your name out there through whatever it takes.
Yeah, it's great to hear. Great to hear that they're focused on that education side of things, because that's just as important and more important than the hockey side of things or whatever sport an athlete is playing in. Talk about what you've been working with the most, who you've been working with the most with MCN Sports Advising since you've, been represented by them.
I've been working with Matt Gorman for the most part through the couple years I've been with him.
Right on. Talk about just your experience, your relationship with Matt.
Yeah, it's very friendly. We talk a lot more often than we have in the past right now, but it's he really puts in the work to help me get my name out there and to get the chances that he thinks I deserve.
talk more about the advising side of things with MCN, just in terms of them advising players out there to, make those right decisions of wanting to go to the places that they want to play, like yourself choosing the Alberta Hockey League as that next place to play.
Yeah, they all think that there's always a little bit of work in you, but they see the deeper talent and skill that you have the potential to bring out in the future if you just put in the work.
Yeah, it's great to hear. And, you talk about the mentoring side of things, how they really do a good job on the education side of things. Just talk about the whole, I guess, 9 yards in terms of, them mentoring you in terms of the education side of things, as well as, mentoring you as an athlete as well, with, the work you put out there on in the hockey rink.
Yeah, they they don't enforce good grades, but they believe that school will take you further than hockey would, because you never know when an injury is going to come along and take you out of the game. But school will always be there, and it's always a great thing to fall back on if you don't have anything else.
Right, for sure. And that's such a good point. There could be an injury, you don't ever want to see it happen, but there could be a life-changing injury that happens, and then you're not able to play the sport you love anymore. And then where does that lead you? You need a good education. And yeah, education is such a key thing. Great that MCN enforces that. They have so much emphasis on that part of things for sure. Talk about, the training you've done with MCN. Have you had a chance to work in any of their facilities? Talk about that aspect of things.
I haven't really worked out in their facilities yet, but I go on the ice when I can with them when they have their ice times in the summer. I usually do my own thing for the summer when I'm training, but I always go to the ice that they book and stuff.
Yeah, and obviously, like you said, you like to do, more training on your own, not with as much with MCN. But for the times that you've had a chance to train with MCN out there, just talk about how your skills have developed since you've, been advised, been represented by MCN Sports Advising.
Yep, they really pick out the little things and bring them to the bigger picture and kind of magnify the things and bring them out in the practice. And you work on them as much as you need to, but not too much. So you also have the time to work on your other skills too.
Yeah, for sure. That's great to hear. And I gotta leave you off with this one, Xander. Obviously, you've talked about like the biggest messages that they've told you, the biggest things that they've said to you, obviously, about education, trying to get the best out of your skill set. Those are some things that they focused on. But talk about, the biggest message that you'd pass on to players, to families that are looking to, get their player represented, their child represented, get them, the right representation, why they should choose MCN Sports Advising for their kid.
MCN knows that hard work pays off on ice just as much as it does off ice. And if you put your mind to anything, you can do whatever you want, no matter if it has to do with sports or school.
Yeah, great to hear, Xander. And, you're gonna have a lot of success in hockey if you keep working at it, no matter what level you get to, whether it be, the WHL, down the line, maybe the NHL, or, maybe you go off and play college, your junior career as well in the AJHL, wherever you go, Xander, just keep putting in the work. I'm sure that we'll talk again soon in the future. Thanks for coming on once again.
Sure.
This time for the second time ever on the Prospect Show for yourself. You have a great rest of your night, man.
Thank you. You too.
And Xander Schulte, forward for the St. Albert Raiders, joining the show here first on the Prospect Show. And my apologies about that video. I swear it was from the Calgary Hitman training camp that I saw on his Instagram, just from his post from that camp. But I guess I was wrong there. Should have checked my facts a bit better. My apologies for that, folks. But I see that we've been getting a lot of likes on this edition of the Prospect Show. Thank you guys for your support. Of course, if you guys are enjoying this edition of the show and you haven't left a like or a reaction yet, you don't have to, but feel free to, because the more likes, the more comments we get as well. You can comment on any one of our platforms, our Facebook, our our YouTube and our Twitter as well. As much traffic as we get here, I see another like there, another reaction. We're up to 4 now. Yeah, like I said, like I've been trying to say, as much reactions, as many likes as we get, that just drives traffic on our episodes and gives more notice, not only on our page here at ASTV Productions, but on the great athletes, the great programs that we feature here on not only this show, the Prospect Show, but the other shows here on the network. Coming up after the next commercial break, I'm going to be joined by a very bright young star coming up in the ranks here in Manitoba, in the Manitoba AAA U18 Hockey League, Clarke Caswell. He's going to join the show to talk about his season with the Brandon Wheatkings U18 AAA hockey team in the Manitoba AAA U18 League, as well as the prior teams that he's played for and the upcoming WHL draft that he's eligible for this December, since he is a 2006 born forward. That's all coming up here on this edition of the Prospect Show on ASTV Productions. Stick around for more after this commercial break.
Welcome to Pilot Mountain Hockey Academy, your world-class academic and hockey training facility created to maximize each student's athletic and academic potential. Blackjack Stewart Arena, home of the Buffalo, is inside the 46,000 square foot complex, as well as a curling rink and other facilities. The students have a unique combination of successful, well-rounded education at Pilot Mountain Collegiate Institute and the professional hockey training in an encouraging community. The years of experience of on-ice coaching propel our students to the next level, both mentally and physically, in a professional environment.
Welcome back to the Prospect Show on ASTV Productions, everybody. Hopefully you're having a great Monday night. Hopefully work wasn't too tough on this Monday. I know that getting out of bed, getting up for work isn't the funnest after having a nice weekend to sit back and relax. If you guys did that on the weekend, that's great too. Just take some time to kind of recoup, relax, and enjoy the time with whoever you spent it with on the weekend. And yeah, start off the show with a great guest, Xander Schulte, of course, playing in the Alberta Elite Hockey League once again this season at that U18 age group level for the St. Albert Nectar Raiders. Also, of course, talk about, his time at the Calgary Hitmen training camp earlier on this year, as well as talking about, getting called up to play in the AJHL, the Alberta Junior Hockey League for the Whitecourt Wolverines, as well as, his time getting represented by MCN Sports Advising, as he was the guest on this week's edition of that segment, the MCN Sports Advising segment that we're trying to have on weekly here. But yeah, coming up now, we got another great guest joining us, a very bright young hockey star here from Brandon, Manitoba. It is Clarke Caswell joining the show now. And Clarke, before we start off, that's how you pronounce your last name, Caswell? Yeah. I got that one right? Right yeah. On. How you doing tonight, man? Great to have you on the show. Excited to do this thing.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. It's going to be a lot of fun to talk about your season here. First off, with the Brandon Wheatkings U18 AAA hockey team and the Manitoba AAA U18 Hockey League here in Manitoba. Playing for Brandon this year, your team has had a lot of success, but you weren't playing here in Brandon, Manitoba last season. You were playing out in Kelowna, BC. Talk about what that switch has been like coming back to your hometown of Brandon, playing AAA hockey this season.
Yeah, it's been a different environment so far, different weather and just different community, but it's been great coming back to friends and family, and I think it's been a good switch so far.
And we'll get into your time with prior teams in just a bit here. But so far, 14 games played for yourself, 18 goals, 16 assists, 34 points. You got the best points per game average out of any player in the league right now, with a 2.57 points per game average. Just talk about how you felt you've been able to have so much success so far here early on in the season.
Yeah, I think just playing with some great line mates have helped a ton just from returning guys. I think that's helped a lot just playing with some skilled players that kind of play like me. So I think that's mainly a big contribution, and also just being put in different positions like the PP, and I think that's helped a lot too.
Talk about some of those line mates that you've played with. There's a lot of skill on this team, but who exactly have you been playing with so far this year?
Yeah, I played with Braden Keeble in the center. He's been doing really good. I think he's leading our league in points so far. So I think he's one of the best players in our league right now, and it's really fun playing with him.
For yourself as an '06 born player, you're obviously one of the youngest players in this league in terms of the year you've been born. Obviously, you're playing with really good line mates, and you've said that that's helped your success so far. But being able to, have so much success against players that are, 1, 2, 3 years older than you, how much confidence has that given your game so far this year?
Yeah, I think just from the start, just starting off in the good foot, I think that's helped a ton. Just got my confidence up, and just knowing that I can do it in this league and not just in bantam and Pee Wee. But yeah, I think it's been a really good boost for my confidence so far.
Of course, Clarke, this is your draft year for the WHL draft. It's coming up here in December. Hoping you get your name called, of course. It's a pretty good possibility, in my opinion, of that happening, of you going high up in this draft with just how you've been able to produce this season and your other seasons. But talk about the coaching staff, the situations that they've put you in to, give you the best opportunity to shine in this league so far this year.
Yeah, our coaching staff has been great. Curtis Sproul, Travis Mealy, and Paul Manziuk, they've done a really good job just with our structure of our team from PP to PK. I think they put me in some good situations where I can excel and progress for my development, and I think that's helped a ton so far.
Now, obviously, it could start before the season even happens, right? Just your off-season focus, what it was this year in terms of you getting ready to compete and play at the highest level you could this season.
Yeah, I think it was just a lot of off-ice training, just getting bigger and stronger for just to play some older guys, 2 or 3 years older than me, just not used to that. So I think that was my main focus, and also just trying to develop on the ice too, just with some skill work, and yeah, just trying to get better every day like that.
Could you talk about if you hit a growth spurt or not? I remember watching some highlights of you. You looked fairly small last season, and that's not a knock on any player, of course. Small players can be effective in the game. I didn't really play at a high level, but I was a small player myself, so always got to defend the smaller guys, right? But talking about, did you hit a growth spurt at all? Did you grow into your frame a bit more during this off season?
Yeah, I think I grew just around 4 inches since 4 or 5 inches since last March. So I think that's helped a ton with just like puck puck protection, and just getting away from defensemen, and just my shot and everything. It's helped a ton with my strength and everything like that.
Yeah, great to hear that you've been able to utilize, the tools you have now, the bigger frame, the bigger size to the best of your advantages, best of your abilities. Talk about, coming into this season, what type of player you were, what type of player that, fans, parents, anyone that's watched you has been able to see from Clarke Caswell this year.
Yeah, so far I think I've been able to score a little bit more than usual, so I think that's been pretty good. And I think biggest attribute so far is playmaking. It's great playing with great line mates. As I said, it's really easy to find them for open areas. But yeah, I think those are the two main areas that I've excelled in this year.
Well, we got a comment for you here, Clark. I was going to get into this a bit more in the show. I wasn't even thinking of this question, but this guy, Ben Kloss, asking this one. Clark, what team would you like to play for when you go to the NHL?
Yeah, probably just my favorite team, Toronto Maple Leafs. Just always looked up to them and always liked them just because Mitch Marner, my favorite player, plays for them. So I think it'd be pure fun to play with them and Matthews. So yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You being a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, do you get a lot of first round exit jokes coming your way?
Yeah, all the time, all the time.
It's a classic. It's an
Yeah.
easy one. It's the low hanging fruit. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of expected at this point. But talking about Mitch Marner, great playmaker, one of the best playmakers in the National Hockey League. Very quick, very good with the puck as well. Talk about what you feel kind of replicates your game compared to Mitch Marner out there on the ice.
Yeah, I think Mitch has a great he sees the ice very well and he can find teammates for great opportunities so far, and I think I try to replicate my game after him, just seeing the puck very well and just he's great work ethic, so I just try to emulate that all the time.
Yeah, for sure. And we got another question coming in for you here, Clark. Not hockey related. I will not pronounce this name. I don't want to butcher this username, but are you good at Clash Royale?
I think I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, is that something you and the boys play a lot of? Is Clash a big thing in the
Yeah.
dressing room? Yeah,
Yeah.
right on. Looking at it, we'll get into this a bit later, but we'll show it now. This question comes from another one of our viewers. What WHL team would you want to play for?
Yeah, I think just playing for my hometown team, Brandon, would be pretty fun. Yeah, I think it'd be a great experience just to stay home and be near friends and family. I think that would be great for my development and be a great opportunity.
And I guess this question, I'm guessing that the WHL, if you get drafted there, when you get drafted there, is the route that you're going to want to take to get to that next level?
Yeah, I would definitely probably go WHL. I just think their development and their player progression is amazing so far with all the great players that have passed through that league.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll get into, some WHL talk later on here in the episode. But, talking about it, how you felt that your game has been able to transition this year as well as it has into the Manitoba AAA U18 Hockey League, just from a pure skill-based standpoint.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that has helped me transition is just the puck protection that you've had to change from bantam to midget. Guys are a lot stronger, a lot faster, lay the body a lot more. So I think that's the biggest thing I tried to work on this summer, and I think it's helped me a lot.
Looking at the team so far this year, you guys are first place currently, 16 wins, 0 regulation losses, only 2 losses on the year, one coming in a shootout, one coming in OT. How nice it's been to have so much success as a team so early on in the year, establishing yourselves as the top dog so far.
Yeah, I think that's helped. I think that's helped a ton with our confidence and just keeping us motivated to keep that good record going. And I think just by working hard, we've done that so far with our coaching staffs, just structure and all of that. So hopefully we can keep progressing.
Talk about, obviously there hasn't been much to complain about this year, but there's always areas that, hockey players, a team wants to improve on, no matter how much success a team is having. What are some of those areas that you feel that this team can get even better in as the season goes along for you guys to, continue to fine tune your game as a team?
Yeah, I think our goalies are great on our team. They've done really good so far, but I think just from our players just playing more defensive game and not letting up too many odd man rushes or just defensive errors on our part. Just I think that will really help us with excelling our game to the next level.
And in terms of defense for yourself, how you felt that you've been able to, work on your defensive game this year, how it's come along this season?
Yeah, I think it's came along a lot of ways. Just haven't really had a lot of defense so far, just because it's a good team that we've had. But I think I've been put on PK quite a bit, so I think that's really helped with my just letting me learn lessons on what to do right and what to do wrong, and just helping me do better next time.
Well, Clark, we're going to continue talking about yourself as a hockey player, talking about your prior teams that you played with coming up here after the commercial break, as well as talking about, your time at the WHL Cup this season and the WHL draft coming up later on in the show. I've been joined by number 11 of the Brandon Wheatkings U18 AAA hockey team, Clarke Caswell, on this edition of the Prospect Show. Stick with me and Clark for more after this commercial. Welcome back to the Prospect Show on ASTV Productions, everybody. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your Monday evening and watching the show here on ASTV. I've been joined by 06 born forward from Brandon, Manitoba, Clarke Caswell on this edition of the show. He wears number 11 for the Brandon Wheatkings U18 AAA hockey team this year. He'll be eligible for the WHL draft coming up this December. And yeah, I've just been talking to Clark about his, time this year with Brandon Wheatkings, how he's, felt that he's done out there, the stats that he's put up, as well as I've had a chance to, show your guys' questions that you've been commenting. If you want to ask Clark more questions, keep it going. It's a lot of fun to have you guys reacting from wherever you guys are watching. But yeah, Clark, let's get into the prior teams that you played with. We talked about it, how switching back home to Brandon this year was for you. But you made that decision back in 2019, 2020 to go play out in Kelowna, BC for the Pursuit of Excellence, who became the Brink Hockey Academy Kelowna team. Just talk about the situation back then, why you decided to, take that that chance, take that opportunity to move out to Kelowna and play, CSSHL prep hockey.
Yeah, I just knew coming out there it would be a great environment from the academy and all of the people from there, just from my coaches and our teammates. We had a really young team going into the league with a lot of strong 05 prospects, but I think we handled ourselves pretty good and had a pretty good season. But I think most of that comes from our good coaching staff from Byron Ritchie, and just the way they run the academy there is super great and super smooth and really helped with my player development.
Talk about the day-to-day in an academy type of hockey team, how that was different from anything you've ever experienced before.
Yeah, getting there the first time, it was crazy just seeing what they go through every day. But usually we start off with workout in the morning around 7, and then 9 to 12 we would go do hockey, and then, or not 9 to 12, 9 to 11 we usually do hockey, and then after that we'd go to school until 3, and then after that we would just have some fun activities, whether it's just like shooting some pucks in the facility or just playing some flag football on the field.
Right on. Flag football is a lot of fun. I played that growing up. It's a lot of fun to be able to play the sport without dealing with the concussions as much as you can tackle football for sure. But talk about just the support you had out there from just your living arrangements, and diving more into just the support you had from the boys out there in the dressing room.
Yeah, our group was really strong. We saw everybody every day. We were around each other all day long, so we created a great group of guys both years that I was there, and I think that contributed massively to our success in both years. But yeah, I think the coaching staff and all of them were really helped with that, just helped us become a great group, and they just helped with our development a lot.
And Ben Kloss saying that he loves tackle football. Ben, I gotta say I love watching it, but with me being a smaller guy, I'm sure Clarke could relate to this too. Not fun going up against those monsters out there and getting clobbered, right?
Yeah.
So talking about it, just the opportunities you got out there in year one to grow your game in a new environment that you were never accustomed to before.
Yeah, just playing in that league the first year, we were playing a bunch of big guys, just highly skilled. Most of them in the WHL right now. Just being able to see how those guys play and just trying to see how much you have to advance your game to be like that in the following years just helped a ton.
Yeah, for sure. And, you definitely showed great potential in that first year, being over a point per game in those 30 games played, 32 points on the season. Just talk about, what you found the biggest strengths in your game back then, to be able for you to have that type of success. Obviously, playing with great teammates as well, but for you, from a personal standpoint on your skill set, how you're able to thrive so much in that first year.
Yeah, as you said, I think my first year was really small, around 5'2", so I think that was a little bit of a struggle. So I had to really lean on my playmaking abilities. So I think that's helped me a lot through my season and just helped me gain my confidence. And then once that happened, I could score a few goals, and after that, I think the rest of my season was pretty good.
Yeah, and 14 goals, more assists with 18, good enough for 32 points in 30 games played. But, the team finished sixth that season in the regular season, 17 wins, 12 losses, one OT win. Not a bad defensive team. Fifth, the least out of 15 teams in terms of goals against with 111. Not as offensive, 123 goals for. Ninth out of 15 teams in terms of ninth most. But, you guys got playoff shut down that year. How much of a bummer was that for you guys, just with the team you guys had that year to, have that season cut short, not being able to potentially go on a run?
Yeah, leading up to the whole season, just working our way through every game just to get to those playoffs really meant a lot to us. So when it did get shut down, we were pretty disappointed. We had a good playoff run when we were playing. I think we beat the second best team. So I think that gave us a big confidence boost. So I think we would have done pretty good for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Just so tough that it got cut short for you guys. But talking about the next season, when you guys were named the Rink Hockey Academy Kelowna U15 prep team, in 5 games played, you guys only got to play 5 games. You made the most of it, Clarke. 24 points in 5 games played, 12 goals, 12 assists. Being able to be that type of player in those games, scoring more goals than being on pace for more goals than you scored the year before. Still having those assists in those games. What do you feel took your game to that next level that season to be able to put up that amount of points?
Yeah, I think that summer going into my major bantam year, I think I hit a little bit of a growth spurt. So I think that helped with my strength and just being able to get around the ice without getting knocked over too much. I think that helped a lot. But mostly, I think we had a great group of players. We brought in some players from all across Western Canada. So I think that helped a ton. And we just, yeah, stayed together. And I think that's a big part of our success in the early season.
Yeah, and 5-0 the team was, 63 goals for, only 7 against. You felt that you guys had so much success just because of that talent that was brought in, and just, I'm guessing just how well you guys meshed out there, how well you guys, were able to find each other on the ice out there.
Yeah, it was great. The practices every day sure helped with that. Just getting to know your teammates and your line mates. I think that helped a lot, and just being able to just know where your teammates are on the ice all the time really helped, and I think that just helped build our chemistry through those 5 games.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, like this was supposed to be your guys' draft year, obviously because of COVID. It pushed it back to December. of this year instead of it being in the spring. But, talking about something WHL related before we get into the draft coming up this year for you, the experience of representing Manitoba at the WHL Cup, just talk about how cool that experience was for you.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great experience. It was ran great by Hockey Manitoba. They took great care of us with meals and just getting us prepared for the games. It was a world-class environment, so I think that was great. Going into it, I don't think we came out with the outcome that we wanted, but overall, it was a great experience to go and just see the next level environment that they have there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's see here. Another question from, not gonna pronounce the name once again because I don't want to butcher anybody's name commenting out of respect for them, right? But this question coming, it says, who would you say the better academies were in your first year in Kelowna?
Yeah, I'd probably say the top three teams were probably Yale, Delta, and West Van. They had a bunch of 05 draft picks from those teams, and I think just having that tight group of players, just those great skilled players and big, just helped a ton with that.
Right, for sure. Yeah, a lot of great talent in the CSSHL. Seeing it this year with Delta's Hockey Academy, right? Jordan Gavin, Thomas Mercick, all the players that they got, players that you had a chance to play against in the WHL Cup. How cool was that? Diving into it more, getting to play against the players that you guys were able to, players that you will most likely see at that next level.
Yeah, all the teams were great, all with great players. Just like our team, we had great team, but yeah, I think it was a great experience just to play against those top guys and see where you got to be to get to the next level and what you need to do to excel and for to get up there in the ranks.
Yeah, talking about just the biggest, learning experience that you took away from that tournament at the WHL Cup, of course, getting this opportunity that doesn't come around, often, only comes around once for you, this being your draft, you're getting a chance to showcase yourself, talk about what those biggest learning experiences you took away from it were.
Yeah, I just think the speed of the game there was really high. I mean, just like our midget league this season, I think it's just like that. But just getting from this level to the WHL or wherever route there is, I think there's also going to be a big jump from there to pro as well. So I think I just got to keep improving my speed and just keep getting faster and faster.
Yeah, for sure. And it's great that you had a chance to realize these things at this point, because now you can take that all in and continue work on them, in game and in your off season as well, and just your off ice work too, right? Talking about the upcoming WHL draft this year, I assume with it getting closer and closer, it's been on your mind quite a bit.
Yeah, it's been on my mind a little bit. I'm just trying to stay focused on the season, just keep playing my game, and I think just the best will happen if I just keep my focus on the game and try not to let off of it.
Yeah, for sure. And I bet for you personally, you felt like this season and the season you had last year is really, in your opinion, I'm just taking a shot out of the dark here, has improved your draft stock quite a bit.
Yeah, I think so. I think my first year at Bantam, I was pretty undersized, so might have got overseen a little bit there. So having time to grow a little bit and get into my game a little bit more, I think helped a lot for that.
Yeah, for sure. And, obviously a big advantage for you was growing, getting some more size on you at the right time. It's awesome that you've been able to grow a bit more. Like you said, the smaller players get a bit more overlooked. But yeah, talking about it, how big of a dream it's been for you to be able to, get potentially drafted into the WHL, how special it's been, knowing this day is getting closer and closer, knowing that that dream might be realized very soon.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's been a great experience so far, just hearing from teams and those great organizations. And I'm just excited to see where I go and just see where the road takes me.
Talk about the representation in terms of, what advisor you've had to, represent yourself during, this process of them, handling that work of talking to teams.
Yeah, I think that's helped a ton with my advisor, Mark McKay and Matt McKay and Byron Ritchie also. Just I think they've done a great job of just having a handle on that and just letting me play my game and not focusing too much on that part of the game.
Talking about it, Clarke, obviously you're a highly skilled player. The numbers have demonstrated that they've shown that throughout, your last two seasons, even in your season with, the pursuit of excellence in your first year, even though the numbers weren't quite on the level as, the past two seasons. But, in terms of you off the ice, what type of player that a WHL franchise is going to be getting?
Yeah, I think mainly just I think dedication. I try to be as dedicated as possible, just getting to the gym every day in the summer and just trying to grow my game and grow my potential to just be the best that I can be.
We got another question coming in here, Clarke. I'm going to pronounce this one because this one's a bit easier. From Scroops93, watching on our YouTube. He said, hey, Clarke, big fan. How has your family influenced your hockey career so far?
Yeah, they've helped a ton. Just looking up to my parents and all of that. Just seeing how hard they work and just want to make it as far as possible for them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Great that you've been able to have that support staff that you've had throughout your, hockey life to this point, and I assume not just in hockey, but in other, phases of your life as well, in other parts of your life. But just when draft day comes, where do you envision yourself being, waiting for, that team to call your name?
Yeah, I think I would be okay with any team, but I think Brandon would be pretty nice. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter where you get picked. I think it's just how you excel and how you play in the next levels and how you progress through those seasons.
Well, Brandon has two picks, pretty high up in the first round. I believe it's third and fourth. A lot of great players in this draft, but hey, maybe they'll look at a local kid like you as, shown great offensive ability so far, only getting better in other parts of his game. And, maybe they take a shot and draft you. That'd be pretty awesome. Talking about one more thing here, Clarke. Just how you continue to play in your season with Brandon, leading up the things you want to focus on the most to continue on building your draft stock, bolstering it before the draft hits.
Yeah, I think I just got to keep the same momentum that I'm playing with right now. Just same with the chemistry that I'm playing with my line mates. Just try to keep up that productivity just by coming to the rink every day just to get better and just staying dedicated.
Well, Clarke, going to be a lot of fun to see where hockey takes you, where you go in hockey. Great to talk to you here on the show tonight, man. And yeah, best of luck to, whatever team, or I guess on draft day, best of luck to you wherever you get drafted. I'm sure you'll continue to thrive, man. Thanks for coming on the show here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And Clarke Caswell is number... Oh, we're going to bring on Clarke one more time. Clarke, one more question before we let you off here. Another question from our viewer, one of our viewers, Owen Wallace. Mr. Caswell, spelt your name wrong. That's okay, though. What is your go-to wings flavor at the Tav?
I think I got to stay original just with the honey garlic. I'm not too much of a spicy guy, so yeah.
Yeah, the Tav has really good wings, man. And we got one more question for you. First off, Ben Kloss says good luck. And then how is your golf game, Clarke?
I think it's been pretty good so far. Just trying to get better each summer just by going out quite a bit.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, for sure. I've said on this show many times I'm not the best golfer. So it's good to know that you feel like you're a pretty good golfer yourself. We're going to cut off the questions there, folks, on this edition of the show. We got to let Clarke go. Sure, it's a school night for him, as he is still pretty young, of course, being born in 2006. We're going to let you go, Clarke. Once again, like I said, best of luck coming up in the WHL draft, and best of luck to your team you and your team this season in Brandon, the Wheat Kings U18 AAA team. Wishing you guys the best of success, and hopefully you guys could bring home that championship this year.
Yeah, hopefully. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, Clarke. You take care, man.
Yeah, you too.
Alrighty there, folks. Clarke Caswell, number 11 of the Brandon Wheat Kings U18 AAA hockey team, joined the show tonight and did not expect this many questions, but I gotta say I love it. It's just that we couldn't keep Clarke on here all night long. If you guys want to tune into next week's edition of the show, we're going to try to get another highly touted, skilled prospect on the show. And if you guys want to ask more questions, of course, you can ask questions on any one of our platforms now. Facebook, YouTube, we allow questions now. Saw pretty much every single comment. Yeah, every single comment came from YouTube. So if you guys want to continue asking these players we have on the questions that you want to know that I might not be asking, be sure to do that, because I always love to hear what the viewers want to hear from and ask the players. So we're going to take one more commercial break here, and then I'm going to do something a bit different and bring you guys the first ever edition of a player analysis here. We're going to break down Clarke Caswell. I only got footage from last year, so it's not up to date, and obviously they're pretty short clips, as you guys have seen, but I'm going to break down, what I've seen in those clips, break down some videos coming up here after this commercial break on this edition of the Prospect Show on ASTV Productions. Stick with me for more after this commercial break. And welcome back to this edition of the Prospect Show, everybody. Clarke Caswell, number 11 of the Brandon Wheat Kings U18 AAA hockey team, joined the show here most recently. And I know that you guys loved it because we just had comments flying in from you guys, which is just great to see. I love it. And Ben Kloss, thank you so much for the kind words there. I really appreciate it. Appreciate that you guys enjoy the work that we're doing here on ASTV Productions, and hopefully we can keep it going in our other episodes here, here on the Prospect Show. But going to be doing something a bit different here to end things off, and that is going to be a player analysis, calling it the Prospect Show player analysis. I'll have a banner for next time to, start off the segment. But we're going to be diving into Clarke Caswell from what I've seen from him, and just from the little clips that I've seen. This kid, starting off with his skating, he's good on his edges, really showcases this when he's in tight on goaltenders to make a move. He's also fast, able to keep defenders off balance just with his good edge work and his speed, his elusiveness. And, he's good at creating space for himself. as well, but that's definitely something that I think that he'll want to work on a bit more moving forward, and that just takes time of getting faster, putting in that off ice work, that work, without, skating with the team, even when skating with the team as well, right? But more into off-season work. Talking about his playmaking, he alluded to it, and it's definitely on full display. His playmaking is really good, able to locate his teammates at a high level, great hockey IQ, and sees the ice well as well. He's also got a fantastic set of hands, a quick set of hands, carries the puck on a string, and he's really good in tight spaces as well. We're going to show you guys a video now of Clarke. Took this off of the Dub Network website. Check them out. I'll link their website in the description of this episode down below. But yeah, looking at it, starting off, we're going to take it through here. In this first clip, Clarke has a good active stick. We'll bring it back here. So you're looking at this play here. Clarke, good on the forecheck, a good active stick. This defender coughs it up, and yeah, he ends up picking it up. Clarke is all over it, and you can see there, just looking at it, this defenseman or this opposing player ends up diving to get that puck to try to knock it off Clarke's stick. But Clarke is really strong on it there, ends up, staying strong on the skates, able to get to the net. And then you're just going to see it here, a beautiful forehand, backhand dangle, pulling it really wide to the forehand to, get the goalie to bite. And then he finishes it off. We'll just look at this play one more time. An absolute thing of beauty there from Clarke Caswell last season with the Rink Hockey Academy Kelowna team. Now, looking at this play, he's going to get a breakout pass here in the neutral zone. This is where he's going to receive it. And really looking at it, Clarke gets this puck here, not in the, doesn't get it in the best position to receive it, but he's going to do a really good job of receiving this pass, protecting it, and puts it into an area at this point where the opposition is unable to, make a clean play on it. And Clarke, once he is able to, break away a bit, sees a bunch of open ice in front of him. And look at this play here. Clarke recognizes that he has a player that's probably going to end up breaking to the net. So what Clarke is going to do here is once he gets open space, he sees that teammate, and he ends up having good puck poise here, holds that puck, getting this defender to bite, not putting him in the best position to, try to block this pass. The defender, I guess, is in a good position to block this pass, but look at Clarke here, really ending up taking this puck further down low into the zone, creating a better passing lane for himself, and sees this teammate breaking into the net. Bam, a pass there, ends up creating a good scoring chance. The only thing I feel like Clarke could have done better on this play here after he makes this pass is just following up by going to the net, trying to put it in. You can see here he loops around the net. He ends up, forcing the goaltender to cover it up afterwards and not play this puck, which is good. He gets an offensive zone face-off. But Clarke, got to the net there, followed up on the rebound, because you do see here that there is a rebound that happens. Clarke, if he goes to, towards the net, more to the front of the net, he could maybe put it in. But that just comes with time, just comes with awareness and more experience, right? So we'll look at this play again coming up here. Yeah, Clarke gets the pass, receives it nicely, puts it in an area where the defender can't get it, holds the puck well, skates that down low, opens up a good passing lane for himself to get that to his teammate. Bang, an opportunity that gets on net there for his teammate. Now looking at this, the third clip, he receives this pass at the blue line, and look at that move. Clarke holds that puck to the forehand, sees that the defender will play it back again. Sees that defender, the stick is there, he commits, and then Clarke is just going to do a little whoop, go to the backhand, cut in, and then once he has open space, does a beautiful forehand backhand move and puts a top shelf with that backhand. Just that ability to, keep defenders off balance with the speed, with the offensive threat that Clarke Caswell is. It will have good edges to, cut as fast as he did there, cutting on a dime is just some of the things that these teams in the WHL should be looking at. Should be looking forward to getting with Clarke. He's only gotten bigger. Like you said, he's grown quite a bit, 4 or 5 inches. So, with that skill that he possesses, with him getting more experience in a league like the Manitoba U18 AAA league, like he's getting playing against older players, he's only going to get better. Any WHL team should be happy to draft a player like Clarke Caswell. And it's going to be exciting to see this kid grow into, the potential, the ceiling that he has. So that's going to do it for this edition of the Prospect Show, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that player analysis. If you did enjoy it, leave a like, leave a comment if you want, up to you guys. But I'm going to be ending off the show. I want to thank both Clarke Caswell and Xander Schulte for coming on the show tonight. I want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in. Thanks for all the comments, the support that you guys showed us here tonight with the likes and reactions and the comments, and as well as a special thanks to our sponsors in Case Financial Group, Tovey Hockey, and our good friends over at Pilot Mountain Hockey Academy. The next edition of the Prospect Show will come next week on Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. Going to have another player or maybe an advisor from MCN Sports Advising come on for that edition of that segment on next week's edition of the Prospect Show, and looking to get another highly touted prospect on the show as well. So stay tuned for that coming up next Monday on ASTV Productions. You can watch it on our Facebook at ASTV Productions, on our Twitter at Amateur Sports TV, or on our website at astvproductions.com, even on our YouTube as well on Amateur Sports TV. But until then, folks, I've been your host, Graham Forsyth, signing off now, wishing you all a wonderful rest of your Monday night. Stay safe out there. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and have a wonderful and safe weekend as well. Until next Monday, folks. I'll see you then. Peace.